The document shook in his hand. Terminated. Kenta Nakamura, 28. A decade of loyalty reduced to a red stamp.
They escorted me out like a criminal. For what? Breathing too loud.
His wife had left months before. The debt collectors called daily. Now even the hum of the office was silenced.
I guess a park bench is free. It's not like I have anywhere else to go tonight.
He curled up on the slats, letting the dark pull him under.
This light, too bright. The smell of old laundry. My heart's racing. Where am I?
Posters of forgotten bands. A stack of textbooks. The calendar on the wall was turned to March.
The 14th of March. The day I confessed to Sayaka. The day she humiliated me. The day my life ended.
Red circle. Confess to Sayaka. The hopeful note of a boy who had no idea he'd be crushed.
I am 18 that morning. This time I'll stop the confession before it happens.
He stumbled to the bathroom mirror. The face staring back was 18. Unlined, untested, but the eyes held a decade of damage.
No stubble, no exhaustion, but inside, a broken 28-year-old still clutching a pink envelope.
10 years ago, in a hallway under the same spring light, he'd held out that envelope with trembling hands. Sayaka hadn't just refused him. She'd walked past him, straight to Daichi, and pressed the same envelope into his best friend's hand. After that, he watched from the shadows as their relationship bloomed. Every laugh was a needle in his chest.
I became invisible. No goals, no rage. Just a slow rot that stretched into a decade.
College came and went. A degree he never cared about. Then the office, a cubicle, a stack of reports, a silent phone.
All of it. The dead-end job, the divorce, sleeping on a bench, started with that single moment of hope. Not this time. I'll tear that letter into pieces before she can humiliate me again. I'll rewrite everything.
He dressed with the urgency of a soldier. The 14th of March glowed on the calendar, no longer a curse, but a second chance. He arrived at school as the cherry blossoms spun. The same gate, the same faces, but he was a stranger wearing his own skin.
There she is, pink envelope in hand, same as the memory, but she won't get to humiliate me today.
Sayaka moved through the hallway toward Daichi's locker. Her smile rehearsed. Kenta didn't hesitate. He cut through the crowd and reached Daichi first.
Daichi. Urgent. Someone's on the office phone for you. Sounded like your mom.
My mom. She never calls the school. Is something wrong?
Kenta nodded gravely. Daichi's face paled. He sprinted toward the office without a backward glance. Seconds later, Sayaka reached the locker. Empty. Her hand tightened around the envelope.
He was supposed to be here. Did I get the time wrong?
I won, but my hands are shaking. Why does it feel like I just made my first enemy?
He bolted home the moment the last bell rung. No goodbyes, no detours. His old room waited like a war room.
The world hasn't seen them yet. The giant that'll eat retail. The video platform that'll own attention. But I have.
He poured every yen from his part-time job savings into accounts he remembered from a future that belonged to a dead man. Then he turned to the books. The same textbooks he'd ignored a decade ago now held the keys to a different life.
Math, history, science. I know which universities will matter. I know which skills will feed me. This time, I won't be mediocre.
Hours melted. Night fell. He didn't stop. The quiet of the house pressed against his ears like a held breath.
In my old life, I'd be scrolling mindlessly now, numb. Here, every second is ammunition, but the silence, it reminds me of that bench.
His phone buzzed once, a notification from the brokerage. The first trade had executed. No celebration, only a cold nod.
Money is just a tool, knowledge a weapon, but I am building a fortress where nobody can reach me, not even myself.
He finally lay down at dawn, the ceiling a blank canvas for ghosts. The old Kenta would have dreamed of Sayaka. The new one dreamed of nothing. A week later, the classroom buzzed with nerves. The midterm results were pinned to the board, and Kenta's name sat alone at the top.
A perfect score. In my old life, I scraped a 40. The difference is 10 years of regret.
Across the room, Sayaka's gaze kept drifting to him. He didn't fidget anymore, didn't smile. He moved like a blade.
When did Kenta Nakamura get so sharp? He used to avoid even my shadow. Now he barely glances.
After class, she intercepted him near the shoe lockers. The spring light made her hair glow, but his face stayed winter.
Kenta, you aced the test. That's amazing. I didn't know you studied so hard.
I just stopped wasting time. Excuse me.
He brushed past without meeting her eyes. The words were polite, but the dismissal cut deeper than any insult.
That wasn't the Kenta I remember. Something happened to him, and I want to know what.
She's suspicious, but I can't let her in. Not after what she did. Not after what I know.
The next day, she found him alone on the rooftop, the wind whipping her hair into a frenzy. She didn't waste time on pleasantries.
Kenta, why are you acting like this? We used to at least say hello. Now you treat me like a ghost.
Used to. People change. You of all people should understand that.
This isn't change. This is erasure. Did I do something wrong? Just tell me, please.
You didn't do anything. That's the problem. We're strangers who happen to share a classroom. Nothing more.
Strangers after all this time? You are lying. The Kenta I knew would never say that.
The Kenta you knew never existed. He was a fool with a crush, and he died a long time ago.
The silence that followed was louder than a scream. A single tear traced her jaw before she turned and fled down the stairs.
Good. Hate me. It's safer for both of us. But why does my chest feel like it's caving in?
He stayed there until the first stars pricked the sky. His hands clenched so tight the nails bit into his palms. When he finally descended, Daichi was waiting at the stairwell door, arms crossed. His usual grin was gone.
She ran past me crying. Kenta, what the hell did you say to her?
The truth. That we aren't friends. It's none of your business, Daichi.
None of my. We grew up together. You've been weird for weeks. Is it the stress? Talk to me, man.
I am not the person you remember. Stop trying to drag him back. He's gone.
By the next morning, whispers slithered through the halls. Kenta Nakamura, the ghost, the robot, the boy who broke the prettiest girl in school. He walked past them without flinching, but the words stuck like burrs. Cold, heartless. Did you see her face?
Let them talk. Their opinions don't matter. Only the plan matters. Keep moving.
Daichi watched from his locker, his face a mask of hurt and confusion. He didn't approach again.
I burned every bridge today, but bridges only matter if you plan to cross back. I won't.
A week passed. Kenta's fortress grew taller, stocks climbed, another perfect score, but loneliness was a cold roommate.
He's like a machine. But machines don't wince when someone cries. I saw it. He's not as heartless as he pretends.
She didn't approach him. Instead, she watched. In the library, from across the courtyard, her eyes followed him like a quiet question.
She's been staring for days. At first, I thought it was anger. But today, there's something else.
He lifted his head and their gazes collided. For one raw second, the armor cracked. She didn't look away.
There! That flicker, the real Kenta. He's still in there, buried under something terrible.
Number. Stop. Remember the bench. Remember the divorce. She's the catalyst for all your ruin.
But his pulse didn't listen. It hammered a rhythm that felt dangerously close to hope. He gathered his things and left, stride stiff. But the echo of her eyes followed him all the way home.
I can't afford a crack. Not now. But why did she smile? Why did I want to smile back?
In the dream, he was 28 again. The termination letter burned in his pocket. The divorce papers felt heavier than a coffin.
She's really gone. This is it. The bottom.
He jolted awake, chest heaving, the ghost of the bench still cold against his spine.
It was just a dream, but it felt more real than this bedroom, more real than this new life.
At school, the nightmare clung to him. His eyes were hollow, his answers clipped. The whispers didn't even register. Sayaka found him on the rooftop at lunch, forehead pressed against the railing. He didn't hear her approach.
Kenta, you look terrible. Did something happen?
Just tired. You shouldn't be here.
He's trembling. That's not exhaustion. That's fear.
He brushed past her, quick and cold, but she caught the tremor in his hand before he hid it in his pocket. A month slipped by. Kenta's name sat alone at the top of every list. His brokerage account flashed numbers that made adults weep, but the fortress was a cage.
You can't avoid me forever, Kenta. I've waited a month. I deserve an answer.
She stepped closer, her voice sharp but frayed at the edges, a blade worn thin by weeks of silence.
There's nothing to answer. I've been studying, focusing on my future.
That's not an answer. You went from failing to perfect in weeks. You don't smile. You don't talk to anyone. What happened to you?
Her hand shot out and grabbed his sleeve before he could retreat, a desperate, trembling grip.
You won't let go until you tell me the truth. Please, Kenta.
I don't owe you anything. We aren't friends. I told you that before.
You are lying. I see it in your eyes. Something is haunting you, and you are too scared to admit it.
Kenta's jaw tightened. For a split second, the lie buckled. Then he wrenched his arm free and walked away, leaving her alone with the wind. She didn't let him go. That evening, in the empty corridor, she grabbed his wrist again, her voice cracking.
I see us, Kenta. Older, in a cramped office. You helped me pick up papers I dropped. You smiled, a sad smile, and said something I can't forget.
The words hit him like a physical blow. That was real. A memory from a future that never happened here.
That day in the office hallway, she'd been crying over a reprimand. I helped her. How does she know?
You said, even after everything, I can't stand to see you hurt. Who says that in a dream? Why would I make that up?
His blood ran cold. The exact words he'd whispered years from now, in a life he'd buried.
It's not just a dream, is it? Tell me I am not crazy. Tell me you know something.
Kenta couldn't speak. The world tilted. If she remembered, then she was. No, impossible.
She's been sent back too, or her memories are bleeding through. Either way, the secret isn't just mine anymore.
He staggered back, shaking his head, but his expression betrayed him. Sayaka's eyes widened with terrible hope.
Dreams aren't proof. They're just noise. You'll forget them by morning.
Noise? I see your older self staring at me like I broke you. That's not noise. That's truth.
Her voice echoed in the empty hall, a plea wrapped in desperation. Kenta's mask slipped for just a heartbeat.
If I admit even a tremor, she'll never stop digging. I have to be the monster. You are chasing phantoms, Sayaka. Let it go before you embarrass yourself.
But she lunged forward, fingers digging into his sleeve. Her grip was trembling, but unyielding.
I am not crazy. You know something. I saw it in your face. Tell me, Kenta.
He jerked his arm free, the violence of the motion severing the space between them. Guilt carved deep lines around his mouth.
You are protecting her by pushing her away. That's what you tell yourself. It sounds like a lie.
He didn't look back. The sound of her crumbling, a sharp, choked sob, followed him into the dark stairwell. The next morning, Kenta slipped into class late, eyes fixed on the floor. The pop quiz he barely finished came back with a glaring 78.
78. I am losing my edge. I can't stop thinking about her words. They're infecting me.
He retreated to his room, curtains drawn. The computer's glow became his only sun. The failed test lay crumpled in the corner.
If she's having memories, time isn't a one-way street. There has to be a rule.
The days blurred. He scoured forums, academic papers. Each dead end carved new lines into his face.
Why her? Why now? Did my jump crack something open?
At school, whispers followed. He's cracking, just like we said. His grades continued their slow slide.
Even my investments feel hollow. The numbers climb, but I'm drowning in this new fear.
Late into the night, the search consumed him. Sleep became a memory. His eyes bruised purple with exhaustion.
What if I am not the only one who came back? What if there are others watching?
The rooftop had become his refuge. That night, under a bruised sky, the tears finally broke free. She found him there. Sayaka's own cheeks were wet, but her voice was steady.
I remembered another one. Last night.
a cold winter afternoon, years from now. He'd brought her a warm drink when she'd been sick with no one else to notice.
You didn't even know I was sick. But you showed up at my door with tea and a bag of medicine. Why would I dream that?
That was real. 6 years from now, she was alone, and I couldn't stand it.
He turned away, but the sobs wouldn't stay down. His shoulders shook violently.
Please, Kenta. I am not letting you run this time. You are not alone in this.
She knows. There's no lie left that can cover this.
He faced her, eyes red, lips parting. The truth pushed against his teeth, but the words wouldn't come. Not yet. But the wall was gone. His mind became a battlefield. On one side, the machine he'd built, cold, untouchable, safe.
This new me, the grades, the money, its armor. But it's crushing everything human inside.
And on the other side, a trembling boy holding a pink envelope, still hoping. That boy had been a fool, but he'd been alive.
I loved her. Even when she ruined me, I loved her. That's the truth the machine can't erase.
The memory of the park bench, the cold, the loneliness, flashed behind his eyes.
I can't go back to that. But if I keep going like this, I'll end up somewhere worse.
He thought of her hand on his arm, the warmth, the undeniable proof of shared memory.
She came back too. I don't know why, but she's here, and she won't stop until she knows. I have to tell her everything, even if it breaks us both, even if she hates me.
He opened his mouth. The rain swallowed the first syllable, but the decision was made. No more running. He didn't hesitate. Taking her hand, he led her down the darkened hallway to the last classroom.
Kenta, please, just tell me what's going on. I am scared.
You will know, but not here. Not where anyone can hear.
The classroom was empty, lit only by the orange glow of sunset through the windows.
Sit down. This is going to sound insane, but I need you to listen until I finish.
Insane? Kenta, you are scaring me more.
I am not an 18-year-old. I am 28. I've lived these 10 years once before.
Silence. The clock on the wall seemed to stop. Sayaka's lips parted, but no sound came.
I did it. Now she's either going to run, or the world is about to change.
And so, in the dying light, Kenta Nakamura began to tell Sayaka everything. He told her of the morning he'd confessed, the letter, the tremor in his voice, the way she'd walked right past him. The years unspooled. A dead-end job, a silent apartment, divorce papers signed in a cold kitchen, a park bench at midnight.
I lost my job. My wife left. I was sleeping on a bench when I closed my eyes and woke up here.
Sayaka pressed a hand to her mouth, tears spilling freely. But she did not look away.
I remembered everything, so I changed it. I pushed you away because I couldn't trust you, not after what happened.
The confession that had haunted him for a decade was finally out, laid bare in the failing light.
I am a 28-year-old coward inside an 18-year-old's body. That's the secret. That's why I couldn't let you in.
Silence. The kind that presses on your ears. Then a single, shuddering breath from Sayaka.
It's all real. His pain, the future he lived. It's exactly what I saw in my dreams.
She reached out, her fingers brushing his cheek. No words yet, only the weight of understanding.
I believe you, Kenta. How could I not? I've been seeing it too.
Kenta's breath caught. The world seemed to tilt as the implications settled over him.
I didn't just dream about the office. I saw the morning I rejected you. I saw myself hand that letter to Daichi, and I felt regret.
A decade of guilt bled through her voice. The same guilt that had driven her into a loveless marriage in that other life.
I thought I was losing my mind. But when you told me about the bench, I knew. We were both sent back.
You came back too? To fix what you did?
To fix everything. I hurt you, and I lived with that regret every day. When I went to sleep, I just wanted one more chance.
2 broken timelines, 2 desperate wishes, colliding in a single, impossible moment.
She's carrying the same burden. I wasn't the only one who was broken.
He pulled her into his arms. 2 lost souls, finally found, holding each other in the empty classroom as the last light faded. They didn't speak for a long time. The last light bled from the sky as they walked to the rooftop, a silent pilgrimage to the place where so much had been said and unsaid. Side by side on the cold bench, their shoulders touching, the first timid words began to flow like water after a thaw.
I was obsessed with Daichi. I never really saw you. I am sorry for that morning, and for all the years after.
She risked a glance at him. His hand moved to cover hers. Her voice wavered, each word a small stone lifted from a heavy heart.
I forgive you. The bitterness that had fueled me evaporated. In its place, something I thought I'd lost forever. Hope.
Just 3 syllables, but they carried a decade of ghosts out into the twilight.
We can't change the past, but we can build a different future, together.
She turned to him, tears still staining her cheeks, but her smile was the truest thing he'd ever seen.
Together.
Morning. Light gilded the cherry blossoms as Kenta and Sayaka approached the school gate, side by side.
The whispers are already starting. Let them. For the first time, I don't care.
A cluster of students near the shoe lockers gaped. The former outcast and the school's princess, walking as if nothing else existed.
Let them stare. Their opinions don't define me anymore. Only his does.
Daichi paused by his locker, a flicker of confusion and acceptance crossing his face. Kenta caught his eye and gave a small, firm nod.
He'll understand someday. Maybe not today, but someday.
Ready for class?
Ready.
They entered the classroom together, the whispers dying into a stunned silence. The teacher blinked but said nothing. Kenta took his seat, a genuine, weightless smile finally settling on his face. It was going to be a good day. After school, they climbed to the rooftop, not as a refuge, but as a reward. The sky blushed with the first hints of sunset.
I still can't believe you told Daichi his mom called. The look on his face.
Desperate times. I couldn't let you hand him that letter. It was the only lie I didn't regret.
A comfortable silence settled between them. No masks, no armor, just 2 people who had walked through fire together.
This is what it feels like to just be me. Not the past, not the plan, just me.
She leaned her head against his shoulder. It was the most natural thing in the world.
No regrets?
Not a single one.
The sun dipped lower, painting the world in shades of gold and rose. It was the most beautiful sunset either of them had ever seen. Kenta smiled, really smiled, and for the first time in a decade, it reached his eyes. The bell for the next class echoed through the school. Kenta stood, offering his hand to Sayaka with a small smile.
We should go. I don't want to be late.
Her hand fits perfectly in mine. How did I miss something so simple?
They walked down the stairwell, their footsteps in sync. The old echoes of regret seemed muffled now.
This is it, not a reset, but a rewrite. This time, I won't waste a single day.
As they reached the classroom door, the final bell rang, a crisp, clear sound that washed away the dust of a decade. He held the door open. She paused, looking back at him with eyes that held no more secrets.
Thank you.
Kenta nodded. No words were needed. The clock on the wall ticked forward, no longer counting down a sentence, but promising minutes worth living. And as the door clicked shut behind them, the future, their future, began.